Hello everyone, just another quick video I suppose for today. I've been out and about having a walk and something I was thinking about. A bit of a hashtag just saying video. Very much my opinion and my opinion only on the Brexit decision and situation it's caused. Firstly, I want to say that I suppose really quite disappointed at the reaction of 48% of the population in terms of, okay, it's not the 48% of the population that have caused the uproar, but the kind of offensive responses to the decision that have been made. The fact that those who voted to leave the European Union, perhaps, let's just suppose, for good, educated reasons, are being lambasted as people who have no common sense and no thought or right to think. This is absolutely unbelievable, really. I am disappointed that in 2016 a democratic process could be jeopardised, I suppose. I'm going to say jeopardised because of the talk and the petitioning going on for a second referendum, because as somebody who runs Computing Forever, wonderful guy, I will link to him, actually said, we basically got it wrong. And apparently this happened with Ireland joining the EU in the first place. Apparently it took 3 votes to 3 referendums for the population to actually join the EU in the first place, because they got it wrong twice and voted against joining. It's quite funny really, because I feel that's a very good comparison to Brexit, to the small majority choosing to leave the European Union. I have reasons for having voted leave myself. It wasn't done without any thought. It wasn't done as a spur of the moment decision. It was done looking at the situation I see around me and thinking about the situation I've seen over the last few years, growing up in the workplace and in academia. I feel more than anything else that resources are being ploughed into the overall aims and goals of the European governmental sections, let's say. As I understand, there are quite a number of facets to the European Union. It's not just one building. There isn't just the European Parliament. There are many aspects to it. I feel that a lot of resources of this country, and we have limited resources, let's be honest, are being put into a large central facility that proportionally we see very little come from. Yes, I know there are projects that state that they've had EU funding, but as somebody on YouTube has also pointed out, probably only from about the amount of funding that we've had to pay into the EU anyway. E.g., these projects could have been self-funded by the UK, but the European government have put their nice logo and placard over every project instead to let us know how wonderful they've been in investing in us. We can do this ourselves as a country. It just needs an open-minded government, forward-thinking enough to look at communities and consider community benefits and needs above those, or in parallel to those of individual investors with vested interests, normally financially driven. Let's be honest. Sometimes I think this is general within the Western world. I think this country is starting to take a lead from America and some other countries in a not so good way, in that money seems to guide all, when in actual fact sometimes for the greater good, prosperity in the future, prosperity of the many, a community project with a slightly bigger picture perspective needs to rule. I hope that removing the European equation or the European aspect of the equation at the very least, will actually enable future government to prioritise communities at large. And I'm encompassing schools, the National Health Service, and let's say town centre initiatives in this. Those of us who don't drive are hugely disadvantaged at the moment because major retailers are still moving to the outskirts of town. I think there is a slight reversal of that now, but it's still happening. Meanwhile, huge employers are simply closing, and the government seems to be paying no attention to this. I'm extremely worried that manufacturing industries are closing on a major scale because I feel that we are basically burning our own bridges in self-sufficiency. I truly believe that the European situation, let's call it that, is basically detracting from the core issues that this country has. We need to review our laws, we need to review our planning, and we need to review what we're doing for ourselves as a country. We need to think what our government is doing, and the government needs to have a long, hard look at itself as well. I'm actually quite pleased that David Cameron left because I had a feeling he would. I had a feeling that as soon as things didn't go his way, he would throw his toys out of the pram. I am disappointed about those who have chosen to leave the running for being the next Prime Minister, but I also accept that the next few years, probably the remainder of this term of government, is going to be difficult. I expected a dip in our currency valuation. That's what happens whenever any major world event occurs, because people who hold money start to worry about what might happen. Everything in the financial markets is based on speculation anyway, and I feel that the drop of currency was speculation that things would suddenly go wrong and all the lights would suddenly turn off in this country. Now, we all know that wasn't going to happen. It's funny really that Article 50 and the European Parliament wasn't discussed before the leave vote, but it seems to turn out that there is no major rush because we have at least 2 years, and I wish somebody would start the process because it's going to happen anyway, sooner or later. It seems that even if the UK government aren't prepared to actually put their foot in it, the European Parliament are basically going to force the UK government's hand anyway. So we may as well get on to it. Financially, it's going to be rocky for us to start with, I know that, but we're not part of a single currency. We've always had a separate currency. Yes, there's a link, but we're not part of a common market in terms of currency value anyway. When we actually take stock of things, when we look at how self-sufficient we could be, not how self-sufficient we are as a country, but the resources that we still have and the skills that I think, thank heavens, we still just about have to actually become a country of manufacture and of innovation. Thank heavens we still have innovation on our side, as well as just the service industry. I mean, are we really a country of call centres? I very much hope not. There are certain other countries in the world who do seem to make call centres their business, and they're not generally the most loved industries in the whole world. So please, let's not become a country of call centres, because I really did see it coming. Let's instead take stock of how teaching is provided in this country, how work is provided in this country, how individuals are looked after in this country. I'm sick and tired of a National Health Service that basically patches people up until they're just about good enough to keep going. Not well, not made better, just about well enough to keep plodding on and making more money for the revenue and customs, the inland revenue. It disappoints me massively. These things need to be looked at, and that's why I actually supported the leave vote. I hope it gets carried through, and I hope that people think very long and hard about why so many members of the population wanted this. Bye for now.